Ladies and gentlemen, we are backstage at the amazing Bloodsport event, and I'm sitting here with the man of the hour, Lio Rush. What a match that just happened out there, man.
Appreciate you, man. I'm beat up. I'm beat up, but hey, I got that W.
Yeah.
Bloodsport debut.
Yeah, man. How does it feel being out there? Look, you've been in the biggest crowds and the smallest crowds and all over the world and the corners of the universe, and now you're here where it's really the first big wrestling weekend out of the pandemic, right? No ropes. You can't win by pinfall. There's no padding on the outside of the ring, so you can't really do anything crazy on the outside of the ring, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel going into that sort of match, and this is being your first debut of Bloodsport? It's crazy, man.
You know, I was super excited for it. I mean, I've watched Bloodsport, events in the past, and I kind of had a grasp of it, but you don't really understand what it feels like until you're actually in there, And it didn't even hit me until I realized that, okay, I'm in here, I'm looking around, there's no ropes, and I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I was an amateur wrestler. But it didn't click in until, I wasn't hitting the ropes like I used to. So I'm like, where do I go from here? So I thought about, what I was doing when I was, 17, 18 years old. And,
right.
I was an amateur wrestler. I was a 2-time All-American. So I kind of had to tap into something that I used to do like 6, 7, 8 years ago. And
right.
I was like, yeah, it's time to work now.
Yeah.
It's time to work. So, yeah, I'm super excited that the outcome, was what it was.
Now, you have hit, we seen when you left NXT, you put out music. You was like, you're done wrestling. Next thing you know, you came back on fire, bro. Like, you've been everywhere, winning every championship. Where did this just new breath of fresh air come from? I feel like, I don't want to say like old Lio Rush, but like new Lio. Like, it just tapped in to something.
Yeah, I mean, what I've experienced and what I've gone through, both negative and positive over the last, 3-4 years of being with WWE, it kind of put me in a mental state of somewhat like depression, a lot more anxiety than usual, not really knowing what was next for me, what to do. I mean, I was on such a constant, consistent schedule every day, every week for the past 4 years. So when you're working for something so hard for, 20 plus years to get to an end goal, and then that end goal is just wiped out without notice, within like a blink of an eye, you kind of sit back and you're like, shit, what's next? So it took me a while to kind of get back, like you said, not the old Lio Rush, but a new Lio Rush. Yeah. It kind of took me a while to kind of hype myself back up or get in a mode of, there is a life outside of a WWE. And I've experienced that life outside of WWE, but I guess I just forgot, So, yeah, I think it just took me, I think what really woke me up was getting booked for New Japan Super J Cup and being a part of that elite tournament, with the top 8, junior heavyweights in the world, and being one of those people, shit, look how many junior heavyweights that there is in the wrestling industry, and the fact that I was, one of 8 within thousands, right. Speaks volumes. So that woke me up for sure.
Yeah, man, and we see it. I think I recently been seeing a lot of in your video content. When you said it's a lot. You said out of WWE. A lot of people outside of WWE don't grasp the fact that creating content is key, and creating quality content is like paramount. You're on top of that mountain doing that, man. All these vignettes, the Spider-Man joints, like the videos, man. Just where is that? How did that thought process come about?
It's hard, man. I thought it would be easier going back on the indies, but in reality, it's a lot harder because, doing something, being at a certain level for that many years, people expect a certain quality from you. So, obviously doing this independent, for one, it's money.
Right.
It's
like your pocket.
2, it's a lot of thinking, a lot of thought process. I'm producing this stuff myself. I'm investing in myself. I'm making sure that I'm kind of staying where I'm expected to stay, because if I kind of lower that quality, if I lower the amount of stuff that I'm doing, then what was all that work for?
Yeah.
I got to take what I've learned over the past couple of years and really bring that to what I'm doing now, and I feel like it's showing. So I'm glad that everybody is liking what I'm doing.
Man, it's really top notch, and I think it really sets you apart from indie wrestlers, but just you're never going to be viewed as just an indie wrestler because of all the stuff and the quality that you put into it.
For sure.
Like it sets you apart. Lashley is a champion. Is the champion.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you seen that? Like, I mean, we saw the tweets, just happy, but like just the happiness in it, like seeing like how did you feel, man?
Yeah, I mean,
because honestly, without you, without that step, right?
Yeah.
Without the Lashley, like, we wouldn't have the Lashley where we're at now. So just how did you feel, man?
Man, I genuinely felt emotional watching, that happen, because I mean, I've spent so many, long hours on the road with Bobby, so many, crazy nights on the road, and talking about where we kind of see him and what his goals were and why he wanted to come back to WWE. And it's just amazing, man. Like, Bobby is an incredible athlete, an incredible performer. And, in my eyes, he is where he should be.
Yeah.
He is the top dog of that company in my eyes, and it's cool to see that he's finally got to where he's always got, regardless if whether I'm there or not. And I think it's pretty dope that I text Bobby as soon as he won, and literally he was definitely still in the locker room, probably talking to so many other people, but he took the time out to reach back out to me and text me back and say, hey man, I appreciate everything that you did for me, and hopefully I'll see you in the future. So incredibly grateful for that partnership and that relationship that I built with him, and hopefully this reign will last for a long time.
And before I let you go, I want to talk about music. What's next for Lio Rush in music?
Yeah, man. Well, what's next? Crazy. It's crazy that I'm even saying this, but I got my first performance coming up soon in Orlando.
Wow.
I'm opening up for Lil TJ, which is
That's crazy.
Huge.
That's crazy.
Which is huge, and I know, hopefully, fingers crossed that opens up some doors for me.
Yeah.
Personally, I've been in the studio every day, working on the EP, working on the album.
Okay.
I plan on hopefully releasing dropping both before the year's over. But definitely, if anything, EP definitely in the summer. So I'm pretty excited for it. I've been working with a lot of dope people. I just moved out to LA, so I'm working with hella producers and some extremely talented people that sees the vision and is willing to help make my dreams, new dream, a reality. So yeah.
Man, that's dope, man. And the last question is, what inspires Lio Rush, man? Because we just talked about all the things you do and how you have to produce these things and you have to come with the ideas and you paying it out of pocket, and those things can be daunting.
Yeah.
And I know somebody out there that's watching this, and even somebody like me, that you produce your own content, you do all these things. It's a heavy weight.
Yeah.
To go
for
when you
sure.
go to bed at night, right?
Yeah.
How do you stay inspired?
Honestly, passion. Like, I look at a lot of people that are clearly passionate about what they're doing, and I feel like watching other people's passion for what they're doing and their love for what they're doing inspires me so much.
Yeah.
I don't care what they're doing. I don't care if they're a cook. I don't care if they're a dancer. I don't care if they're, so on and so forth. I like seeing people doing what they love to do and putting in the work, because that pushes me, that drives me to do the things that I'm doing. So, and obviously, I'm a family man. I got my wife at home. I got 3 boys. Just had a newborn.
Congratulations.
So appreciate it. And I'm not doing this just for me. So I think that plays a huge part into what I do, in my everyday life, and the amount of work that I put in to not only change my life but change my entire family's life. Man,
well, I appreciate you giving your time to me during this. I know you got a whole nother match left.
I know,
you got a whole nother show left.
Yeah, I might take a nap.
It's a busy weekend, man, but definitely appreciate it, man.
For sure.
And guys, I'll catch you on the next one.
Yes, sir.